Good evening, my dear mortal friends. Thank you for joining me on this brand new video. My name is Kit Borman. This is the first Halloween themed video of 2025. That means we're all scarily excited for the most spooktacular Halloween season of the year. I am going to do another read aloud stories video for you guys for story time. It's going to be Disney's Halloween stories for you guys. I will show you my brand new book. I'm going to read to you in a minute. First of all, I have got Disney Stitch All Treats. Since I have read Stitch Crashes Disney, I have read it from a previous video. It seems very absolutely funny, brilliantly awesome, and also fantastic. So, what I intend to do, I'm going to read by words each page, and I'll be showing illustrated pictures from each page. I'm glad you're finally here to join me for story time in a spooky Halloween moment. You came to the right place. Okay, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Happy Halloween, Lilo shouted as Stitch entered the kitchen one Saturday morning. While Nani, Lilo's sister, made breakfast. Halloween? Stitch asked. He had never heard of Halloween before. It's one of my favourite holidays, Lilo explained. It's a day where everybody dresses up and eats sweets. Don't worry, I'll tell you everything there's to know. I wrote the checklist for us, Lilo said, while Stitch ate his breakfast. She held up the piece of paper. It all has all the steps we need to complete to have the perfect Halloween. First, we need to find you a costume. On Halloween, we get to wear costumes and pretend we're someone or something else, like how I'm a witch, Leo explained as they went up to her room. Stitch thought for a second before racing around Lilo's room. He put on a lampshade and a blanket. Costume? He asked. A Halloween costume should make you feel special, Leo said. Does that make you feel special? Stitch shook his head. The pair spent the rest of the morning trying to find a perfect Halloween costume for Stitch. They attempted one outfit after the next, but no costume fit just right. Finally, they found something that made Stitch feel special. Lilo and Stitch headed back downstairs. Now it is time for pumpkin carving, Lilo said. On Halloween, we turn pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns by giving them faces, said Lilo. Now, you try. Lilo Stitch did his best, but his jack-o'-lantern looked a little different from Lilo's. Still, Lilo clapped her hands. Great job, Stitch. Why don't you do another one? I have just the pumpkin. Lilo led Stitch and Nani outside to the large pumpkin by the porch. Okay, Stitch, try using this. Lilo handed Stitch his blaster. Then she held up her jack-o'-lantern for reference. Stitch shot lasers at the pumpkin. When he was done, Stitch smiled. Wow! Lilo exclaimed. That looks amazing. Once they had finished pumpkin carving, Nani and her friend David took Lilo and Stitch into town. Every store window was decorated for the big Halloween celebration taking place. Stitch had never seen the shops look so ghostly. David and I have worked at the general store for an hour, so don't get into trouble, Nani said. We won't, promised Lilo. Lilo turned to Stitch with her list. It's time for the best part of Halloween. Trick-or-treating, Lilo exclaimed. That is where we knock on doors and say, trick-or-treat to get candy. Trick, trick. Stitch jumped up and down in excitement. Tricks are fun, Lilo said, but remember, the most important part is the candy. As Stitch followed Lilo, he was still thinking about the tricks. Lilo approached the first shop and knocked. The shopkeeper opened the door and greeted them with a bowl full of sweets. Lilo held out her bag. Trick or treat, Stitch shouted. He jumped in front of Lilo and transformed so that all 6 of his limbs waggled wildly. The shopkeeper shrieked, slammed the door and bolted the lock. The pair headed to the next shop with their empty sweet bags. Don't forget the treat part of trick-or-treating. Stitch, remember, it is more important to get lots of sweets, Leo said. Stitch nodded, but something else had caught his eye. After passing through the crowd, Lilo realized Stitch was gone. Stitch, where'd you go? Just then she heard a scream and suspected that Stitch had something to do with it. Try as he might, Stitch couldn't resist tricking people, and Lilo still hadn't got a single sweet. Sighing, Lilo decided she didn't want to trick or treat anymore. Once she was alone, Lilo took out her list. She had been so close to having a perfect Halloween. If only Stitch hadn't gone and ruined it with all his mischief. Lilo hung her head. Now there was no way she would be able to complete her checklist. Just then, a scary shadow filled across Lilo's path. But it was only Stitch, standing on a pile of sweets. Treat, he offered. He wanted to fix what he had done and make Halloween truly special for Lilo. Stitch, this is amazing, Lilo cheered. But how did you get all these candy for us? Stitch gave her a guilty look. Back on the main street, Lilo noticed no one else had any sweets. Stitch, you can't just trick everyone and steal their sweets. Sweets have to be given, Lilo said. But perfect Halloween, he said. Lilo knew Stitch had meant well in trying to make her Halloween a best one ever. She also knew they had to make Halloween right for everyone else. If only they could figure out how. Just then, Stitch had an idea and raced away. He returned a few minutes later with his spaceship. They could use it to drop sweets into people's bags. Before Lilo knew it, They were flying over the little town and shooting all the sweets out over the islanders, who collected them and rejoiced. Lilo was having a blast, putting smiles on so many faces. Best Halloween ever, Lilo told Stitch. That night, Lilo decided there was no perfect checklist for the fun Halloween, and Stitch learned that getting to eat lots of sweets was even better than playing tricks. It really was the best Halloween ever for everyone. Well, my good friends, to conclude this story of Disney Stitch or Treat, I think it reminds me of the end of the original Lilo and Stitch film. There's only one public scene, which is when Lilo and Stitch does the first Halloween activity. Do you find this story very interesting about when Stitch attempts to learn about the importance of Halloween? Whereas Stitch can't attempt to stop causing trouble in a little town and tricking other people in settings of Hawaii. Okay guys, so we also, to celebrate the 23rd of anniversary of the original Lilo and Stitch was released in cinemas since 2002, and we also honoured to celebrate the release of Disney's Lilo and Stitch live action remake was released this year. Okay guys, so I wish you for a happy early Halloween, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching.